Hey everybody out there, my name is Tommy and this is my YouTube channel, Counting on the Big Sleep. And today we are at the woods, getting outside, seeing what's going on, and I got a bit of a story. And the woods are just packed here, and I guarantee about a third of these people that are here, they live in their cars. Because I see quite a few of them that have, blankets and pillows and stuff like that. So they could probably come here during the day to rest. That's straight. There we go. Maybe. I don't know. So yeah, the woods are packed today. A lot of people out here. It's a hot one too. It's like 92 degrees. Just imagine living in your car. Oh, and no relief at nighttime. The heat's hot. No relief in the daytime. That would suck. But today I woke up and, well, first of all, let me say, ever since the IRS, put a lien on my bank account, I've kept very little money in there. And I also locked my bank card up. I locked it so it couldn't be used. But today, I woke up to an email, which I thought was just a spam email. Because I get them all the time. It looks like it comes from PayPal. It says, "Oh, you're going to be charged this amount of money. $300, $400. If you didn't order this, please contact this phone number." So I thought it was one of those, like, spam ones. And so I kind of ignored it there, and I went and I looked on my bank account, and sure enough, PayPal authorized some sort of payment. It wasn't a lot of money, though. This one wasn't a lot. It was like $42. But I only had a couple dollars in the bank. And, so it put my bank account into negative. So I've been disputing this charge with PayPal, and so far they've said, hey, they can't find any kind of fraud. I'm like, well, I didn't order this. Where's anything that says that I authorized this? I don't have, it was from ad blocker. I was like, I don't have ad blocker, and not that I don't believe so. I can't find it on, any of my, my devices. It might be on my phone somewhere. I don't know, but I'm like, fuck. So I gotta go to the bank tomorrow and dispute the charge. I already contacted the website. It came from a website called Paddle. I'm like, what the fuck is that, Paddle? So I already contacted them, and they said they canceled my subscription. Tried to remove my card off of PayPal, but so far it won't let me. It said, something wrong, try again later. Maybe because I've been in this dispute with them. But I was like, fuck, man, now I gotta go to the bank tomorrow and see if I can't get my money put back in there. If not, then I gotta pull out $50 from somewhere, which I don't really have. It's like, fuck, I don't have an extra $50. But, I'll have to, just to keep my account current. That sucks. Because right now, I've only been making, about $130 a week. It's like, fuck. Just enough to put some food on the table and some gas in the car. I'm waiting on, one of these jobs to call. They called and I did my drug test for two of them. So I'm hoping, one of them will say, hey, start now, But I did notice that the one place I did apply at, the job that I wanted, the manager that did the interview with me went onto my LinkedIn account that I created in about 2016. That's when I thought about getting a job in the cannabis industry. I'm working at one of these marijuana dispensaries. So I had on there, looking for work in the cannabis field. And when I seen that he went on there, so I know he's seen that. So I don't know if they'll hire me now. Gotta be careful what you post and put up, that's for sure. That is for sure. Especially for employers. So, but I had to delete that Lincoln account. Because I don't use Lincoln anyway. It was just an account that I created, around 2016. So yeah, I was kind of surprised when that happened. When I got a notification that he checked out my Lincoln account. I'm like, oh man, what's on there? Nothing's really on there, except for about the cannabis industry. It's like fuck. And this guy was like looked like a serious type guy, So I don't know, but. So I'm waiting to hear from at least one of these two jobs, or three, because I applied at three. I had 3 interviews. Like I said, 2 of them I did my drug test for. So hopefully this week, or I might be one of these people living in my car here pretty soon. It's like, fuck, everything's so hard, And then to wake up today to see that your bank account's in the negative, for something you didn't even order, I'm like, what the hell? And even the card is locked. I've had that card locked for weeks now. So nothing's supposed to go through. So I got, like I said, go to Chase Bank, see what they can do. If they can help me, if not, then I got to pull out $50 from somewhere and and put it in the bank at least. So cover some kind of ad blocker that I never got. I don't even have, like fuck. But yeah, today's Sunday. I don't know what the date is, 11th or something probably, But yeah, with the plasma, I only make about $130 a week, so that's a little over 500, 520 maybe a month. And that's not enough to even pay the rent. And I'm getting tired of being stuck with a needle, too. That's, that's getting old. That's for sure. But I had to get outside to get some fresh air. Tell you my little story about, when I woke up today and my bank account became in the negative. It's like, what the fuck? Dude. So hopefully Monday will be a better day. I mean, it's not a terrible day. It's not the end of the world type situation, but it's just sometimes you're like, what the fuck? What the, It's like you step in one pile of crap after another. So, but we're at the woods here, getting some fresh air, checking out the people coming through. Like I said, I imagine probably a good third of these people could be, people living in their cars. You come to the woods, try and get some rest. And then, at nighttime, try and find a spot to pick where where you won't get hassled or robbed. But you always gotta sleep with one eye open at nighttime if you live in your car anyway. Yeah, you gotta, I've been there when I was younger. Yeah, it's tough, man. Sleep with one eye open, that's for sure. Be careful where you're parking. Oh, but let's see, anything else? Well, yeah, nothing too much is really going on. Just nice day out today. How's everyone feeling and stuff? I did make some shorts. Check them out. Trying to build up the subscriber base. And they said the faceless channels are the way to go now, so trying my hand at this. I'm not the prettiest looking individual in the world, but might as well give it a shot. And then really, the only thing I really know for sure is that I really don't know anything, so I don't know about stuff. It just seems, I mean, the world is a tough place sometimes. Sometimes it's a real tough place, and sometimes you just step in a pile of shit, one right after another, and you just, that's just what happens, And the government, They're training people how to, dislike other people, you know, and, to hate the woke crowd. Even though I think they went a little too far on the left, and the other side wants us to hate, the right wingers, and now they're going a little too far on the right, with some things. So, but it seems like the government is conditioning people to hate each other and stuff, and social media is probably fueling that in some ways, But all you can do is live life one day at a time, I guess. Deal with today's problems today, deal with tomorrow's problems tomorrow. So, but yeah, YouTube's a nice, good outlet. I also, subscribe to some other people's channels. If you ever, see, Daddy-O, he's a Uber driver. He's on YouTube, talking about faceless channels and face channels and stuff like that. Daddy-O, good guy. Seems like a good guy. But yeah, it just seems like we live in a broken world. Humans are broken. The world is broken. Will it get better someday? Hopefully. Hopefully. Maybe another 100 or 200 years. Who knows? Or, maybe we'll de-evolve into the brainless creatures we're starting to become. Oh, I have no clue. I know I'm 58. I know average lifespan is 78. So, that's 20 years maybe I got left. Maybe 20 years. But I digress. Yeah. So get outside, get some fresh air. Don't forget to breathe. And you guys have a blessed day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.